In a quiet rural town far from Seoul, our female lead, Yoriam, enjoys a cozy, peaceful life. Right now, she's sound asleep, completely relaxed, until her grandmother suddenly calls out her name, Yoriam. Startled, she wakes up as her grandma questions why she's been lying in bed all day and asks if she's feeling unwell. Yoriam quickly reassures her that she's fine. In fact, she says she's feeling more energetic just from eating grandma's home-cooked meals and getting lots of rest. Even so, her grandmother remains concerned. She says Yoriam's constant lying down reminds her of their dog's mother before she passed away last year. But Yoriam laughs it off and insists it's nothing like that. She explains that, up until recently, her life has been anything but restful. After failing her exams, she spent a whole year shut away in a tiny student room, and every single day back then felt like torture. But now, being in the countryside, her skin is glowing again and her cheeks are full. Life finally feels good. Despite Yoriam's reassurances, her grandma still insists she go outside for a walk. To make sure she does, she sends her on an errand to deliver a basket of corn to Old Man Kong. After giving her the address, Grandma waves her off, and Yoriam sets out, even though she finds it hard to believe the neighborhood is really called Below Village. When she arrives, the house looks unusually quiet, almost like no one's home. But as she walks around to the back, she spots someone standing there. Just as she opens her mouth to speak to the young man, her eyes widen in shock. He's openly pleasuring himself, completely unaware of her presence. She's frozen in disbelief. To her, what she sees is animalistic, wild, and she's never seen anything that large before. She's deeply disturbed that he's doing something so private out in the open, where anyone could see. In her head, she calls him a weirdo. But then it hits her, if she keeps standing there watching, she might look just as strange. So, she quickly decides to leave. Just as she turns to go, a corncob slips from her basket and hits the ground with a soft thud. The noise catches his attention. When he's finally done, he turns around, and there she is, sitting on the ground, clearly shaken. She stammers, begging him not to come any closer. And right then, a memory flashes in her mind, something her grandma told her when she first arrived in the village: there are no young people around here. He keeps staring at her in complete silence while she sits frozen on the ground, trembling. His sharp, unblinking gaze feels almost animalistic, like a beast sizing up its prey. The longer he stays silent, the more terrified she becomes, wondering if she's about to be eaten alive. But just then, the tense moment is broken by the voice of an old man calling out, "Tane, are you home?" It's Mr. Kong. He looks in their direction and spots Yoriam. "Who's this?" he asks, curious. In a shaky voice, she stammers out a question, asking if he's Tane's grandfather, and quickly explains that she was only there to run an errand for her grandma. Without waiting for a response, she bolts out of the house, sprinting back home, gasping for air and yelling for her grandmother. Her grandma, who's busy in the kitchen, casually reminds Yoriam that she isn't deaf, then asks why she's running around like she's being chased by death itself. Still panting, Yoriam clings to her and blurts out that she saw a young man at Grandpa Kang's house. To that, Grandma calmly confirms it. Yes, there is a young man there. His name is Tane, and he's Mr. Kang's grandson. Later that day, during dinner, Yoriam grows even more curious and starts asking questions about him. Her grandma, ever graceful and relaxed, responds between bites. She explains that since there are barely any young people in the village, Tane doesn't have any friends. Later that night, Yoriam lies in bed, restless and wide awake. Her mind keeps drifting back to Tane, and no matter how hard she tries, sleep just won't come. By morning, she hasn't slept a wink, and now she's struggling to stay awake in the middle of her chores. Her grandma catches her off guard and asks what she's doing. Yoriam, startled, quickly says she's looking at the peppers. Then, out of nowhere, she tells her grandma that she's going for a walk to Below Village. Her grandma looks at her, clearly surprised, and asks why she wants to go there of all places. Yoriam casually replies that she just wants some fresh air. When she arrives and can't find Tane anywhere, she heads to Mr. Kang's house to ask. The old man tells her Tane might be out picking apples and points her in the right direction. She waits a while, watching the quiet orchard, but there's still no sign of him. Just as she's about to give up, she suddenly feels a shadow fall over her. She turns, and there he is. Tane, silently standing there, eyes fixed on her. Flustered, Yoriam immediately starts explaining. She says she came to apologize for what happened the day before. But to her shock, he doesn't say a word. He just picks up his bag and walks off. Determined, she follows him, calling out and trying to get his attention, but he completely ignores her. Frustrated, she gives up and plops down on a nearby spot, deciding to wait and see how long he plans to keep this up. That's when something unexpected happens. He suddenly removes his gloves, like he's done working, and before she can process what's happening, he begins taking off his clothes, right there. It turns out he just wants to wash up, but out in the open. Yoriam stares in disbelief. Doesn't he feel even a little embarrassed? She wonders to herself, unable to look away. Her mind starts wandering, and before she knows it, she's fantasizing about his body. Caught up in the moment, she even moves closer and reaches out to touch him. But he quickly brushes her hand away and reaches for his towel, making it painfully clear that he's not interested. Whatever she's feeling alone. Still, just before walking away, he silently drops an apple into her hand without a single word. Then he leaves. From that day on, going for walks started to feel natural. She found herself quietly tagging along as Tane transported apples from place to place. And once the day's work ended, he'd peel apples for her to eat, and somehow, they always tasted sweeter when he did. The way he peeled them so precisely, with such care, fascinated her. Unlike most men, he wasn't rough or careless. Even with his large, calloused hands, he cut with such finesse and attention to detail that it sparked a new kind of curiosity in her. Curious and unable to resist, she reaches out and touches his hand. The moment her fingers brush against his skin, he flinches slightly and looks away. "Are you all right?" she asks, trying to keep her tone casual, though she's secretly wondering, is he actually shy? Wanting to see that reaction again, she gently traces the thick veins running across the back of his hand with her fingertips. But this time, he stays still, not reacting the way he did before, and it's no fun if he doesn't flinch. So, she ups the game. Teasingly, she pulls his arm closer until it rests against her thigh. That does the trick, he stiffens, reacting instantly. The way he responds sends a small thrill through her, making her want to push his buttons even more. But just as she's about to go further, he stops her. Without saying a word, he pulls his hand away, firm and abrupt. Surprised, she quickly apologizes, asking if she took the joke too far. Still, he doesn't speak. He just sits there, looking like he's silently battling with something. And then she sees it, clear as day. He's trying to hide an erection caused by her touch.